You know exactly how much you sold this year. You have no idea how much you kept. This is a conversation I've had more times than I would ever be able to count. I can say this with full confidence because I have had conversations with women running 100 homes a year, leading teams, the women that are the best in the market at what they do. Every one of them can tell me their volume off the top of their head. And yet, when I ask what their profit is or what their profit margin is, they tell me they have to go look it up. Almost none of them can tell me their profit. So let me tell you about a woman I coached that closed $150,000 less than last year in gross commission income. She actually made more money. Not on paper, not eventually. More money in the account, more profit through June than the same 6 months last year. In a year, every agent in her market called a bad one or a hard one. She didn't sell one more house than the same time last year. She made $172,000 in great decisions. Here is her actual math because I want you to watch it happen. Her gross commission income for the first half of the year was actually down about $105,000. Net profit for that same stretch was up $67,000. And add those two together because you know I love math. That's about $172,000 of great decisions. And every single one of those great decisions was a small one. She spent less on advertising in areas that weren't creating a return on investment. She asked about everything she was sponsoring and asked what was happening as a result of it. She stopped paying for a couple of things that she had been paying for since she started her business a few years ago. Many things that she was paying for, she was just still paying because it's what she's always done. Nobody made one heroic move. She just finally looked at it. You are not bad with numbers. You got here somehow. You have a successful business. You've just never looked at the second number. She came to our coaching conversation with a stack of reports she had printed out, and she had been dreading this conversation for weeks. Her husband told her that morning that looking at all of it would stress her out so much more than she already was, than not looking at it. And she told him, I've got to give it a shot anyways. When I asked her a simple question, what does it cost for you to run this business every month? She said something I hear consistently. I don't ever look at it that way. She's not lazy and she's not bad with money. She's excellent at the part of the business that actually brings in the income, which is why she has such a great top line revenue. That is her strength, and it's the entire reason the business exists. She had just never been shown the other half. She told me that she thought I believed she was smarter than she was, and that she knew how to do things no one had ever taught her. I told her the truth, which is that she actually doesn't give herself near enough credit. And many times when it comes to numbers, this is the exact pattern I see. Here's what I want you to hear right now when it comes to numbers in your business. You don't have to be the financial expert. We're going to make sure you hire the financial experts. You do not have to get bored with numbers. You do have to understand them well enough to make great choices for your business because it is your business. When you make great choices, you get to decide what to invest in, who to invest in, and how to measure a great return consistently. I have helped lots of people over the past 14 years who are people become familiar with numbers and exactly what story they're telling so they can use them to their advantage, create a great customer experience, and attract top talent. That is actually a learnable thing. It's not a personality and it's not a weakness. And I did not just hand her the answer to the question. I did the mouth out loud so she can make great choices on her own, understanding the numbers from here forward. You're spending $1,200 to sell a $250,000 home. I had almost this exact conversation with someone last week. She was spending $750 to $1,500 to market a listing where the average sales price is $250,000. If you just calculate that on 20 homes a year, that's a rounding error. At 40 or 50 homes a year, that is eating your business profit alive. And it doesn't show up anywhere than other at the bottom of a statement that you have never opened and don't look at consistently. So here's a number I want you to know by name. Your cost of sale per listing. What it costs you all in to sell every home that you sell. And then here's another number I want you to know. What percentage of your income comes from the listing side, and what percentage comes from the buy side? Are we having fun yet? These two numbers together will tell you more about the health of your real estate business than almost any other number at any given point in time. Look at them next to what you're closing right now, and then decide if the market is actually your problem. You are not indecisive. You are underfunded. Every woman I know who has made scared business choices has between 3 weeks to maybe 2 months worth of expenses in her account. Every woman I know that says no easily to business choices is really clear on the reserves behind her. Ladies, that is not a personality difference. That is a balance difference. So here's the target: 6 to 9 months of business reserves fully funded in a liquid savings account. Yes, liquid. Yes, you could get it out today if you needed. Not because something bad is necessarily coming, because reserves are the difference between confident, wise choices and stressful and survival choices. You can feel which one you've been making, and I've seen people with really big businesses make each of these decisions at different times in their journey. So wherever you are, you're exactly where you're supposed to be, and listening to this is going to transform everything for you. Survival choices are the ones where you take listings that you know you don't want, or where you accept a commission rate that you know is not going to be good for your business, where you say yes to the client that you already know in advance is going to be a big problem and not in alignment with your values, where you keep an expense because you feel like changing right now is just too much. None of those are about your judgment. Every one of them is about your security, foundation, and balance. And a healthy $1 million business in real estate is holding about a 40% profit margin. If you have never checked yours, it's not a failure. It's just information about your business. It's data that you haven't looked at yet. 30% sounds like an absolute catastrophe in your business until you turn it into a number you can actually work with. This was my favorite moment in a coaching conversation. She had been carrying one number around in her chest all year long, down 30% in volume. And you know, volume is what the industry measures success in. 30% to her sounded like the entire thing was falling completely apart. So we stopped staring at the percentage and started diving into the actual real numbers. Last year, she averaged about 119 a month, and this year, 83. That's a difference of 35.7 a month. Not 119 and not the whole business disappearing. About 36 a month. Then we broke it down again. That is a little more than 8 a week. Now we had something she could work with. 8 a week can become conversations, appointments, follow-up, or whatever activity actually drives the business. It can become a plan for her Tuesday morning. Percentages sometimes can make the problems feel enormous. Real numbers help you decide what to do next. So take whatever number you've been carrying around this year and do the same thing we just did here. Turn the percentage into a monthly difference. Then turn the monthly difference into a weekly number. Look at it again and ask, what action would move this forward? I've watched this one shift change completely the way a woman walks back into her office and is ready to lead her business again. There was one more thing on her statement that I see in almost every business. Over time, we keep adding things. A subscription, a sponsorship, a vendor, a new role, a service someone recommended that we used 4 years ago. Every one of them probably made sense at the time we made the decision. What rarely happens is the review. We do not go back and ask if these expenses still make sense with where our business is focused today. So the business keeps paying for every yes you've made in history, month after month after month. And eventually, you feel the weight of it without really knowing exactly where it's coming from. Some of those expenses might still be earning their place, and you're getting a clear return on them. And some of the people that you've invested in are definitely adding value, culture, experience to your community, to your team, to your clients. Some may need to be revisited or renegotiated. Some may need to go completely. And some of the work on that statement may still need to be done, but it may not need to be done by you anymore. That doesn't mean you made bad decisions. You built the business to where it is now, and that's something to be so proud of. It means your business has grown and elevated, and the decisions that fit one season might not fit the next. It's simply time to look at it again. And this is where the numbers connect to what I care about the most. Margin can buy back a season with your kids. Reserves can let you show up on a Tuesday afternoon without you doing math in your head the entire time. Profit can make presents possible instead of making it feel expensive. This is not about chasing a bigger number just for the sake of having a bigger number. You already know how to produce. It's about keeping what you have worked so hard to create so the business actually supports the life that you cared about having instead of consuming your life. You were never called to have every answer. You were called to be still and know, to be confident in decisions. And you might already be doing way better than you think. Many times when we focus on diving into the numbers, both personally and professionally, that is the case. I tell women that constantly, and I mean it. Many of you are one honest look from realizing this year is not the story that you've been telling yourself and stressing out over. Here is the one thing I want you to do this week. Pull your profit and loss statement for the first half of the year. Yes, even if it means you've got to update all of the items on it. If you don't know how, ask whoever handles your books right now to pull it for you so you can review it. And then ask them how to find it yourself next time. Then find 3 numbers: your gross income, your profit, and your average monthly operating expenses. That third number multiplied times your comfort zone, either 6 or 9 months, tells you what 6 to 9 months of operating reserves would be for you. Write those 3 numbers down somewhere that you can see them again. You're not trying to fix the entire business this week. We're going to start here. You're simply getting really honest about where you are, and honesty creates choices. We're usually the most stressed right before we get to the other side of something. Then we cross the line, look back, and say, look what I did. Give yourself some grace on the way there. Promise me you will. I am cheering for you. If something today hit home, subscribe and save an hour for yourself every Thursday. An hour to listen, truly reflect, and take action. And if you thought of another woman while watching this, another woman producing at your level while raising kids, send this to her. Then save that hour together. You can have presence and profit. Today is Sunday. Promise me you'll go live your legacy now.